Hello and welcome to another episode on Football Talk Podcast. My name is Ozzie and I'm your host for today's show. It wasn't the best of performances from the Reds, but we got the job done as Liverpool beat Fulham 2-1 at Anfield. Let's discuss the game. I'll go through the key moments and I'll also present my player ratings and give you my thoughts on each player. This is also a calling show, so if you'd like to come on and have your say, the link is available in the description and it's also pinned in the live chat. So let's talk about the lineups before we get into the first half. So for me, in terms of Liverpool, no surprise in terms of the team selection there. Exactly what I expected. The only one change from my predicted lineup in the previous show that I did yesterday was the fact that Elliott starts in this game instead of Núñez, which, to be fair, was probably the right decision from Klopp. I know Elliott probably didn't last the whole game, but he did have a good impact, in my opinion. And Núñez, when he came off the bench, certainly had an impact, which we'll obviously talk about in more detail. In terms of the Fulham team, the back line, just as I expected, Castagna ended up being the starting right back for this game. Reed ended up being in defensive mid, so that was a surprise for me. Willian, who I didn't put in my predicted lineup, ended up starting, and to be fair, no surprise that he did start because he always has a wonderful game against Liverpool, which is annoying as a Red fan. But yeah, the rest of the team was as what I'd expected. In terms of the first half, yeah, it wasn't a good one from Liverpool. I would say Fulham definitely had more of the possession, more of the counter. Around the 5th minute, Tosin actually gives the ball away, which allows Curtis Jones to take charge and drive with the ball. He hits a shot from the edge of the box. Easy save for Leno. 7th minute, Liverpool showed some good build-up play to create an attack. It was Elliott who dinks a nice ball to Conor Bradley, who was fantastic, by the way, in this game. He manages to cut a back pass to the 6-yard box, which was easily collected by Leno. 15th minute, Liverpool almost brought the deadlock. McAllister does a fantastic job to win the ball. Good play by Elliott and Gravenberch. And then Jota, who attacks on the right-hand side, hits a shot across goal, just goes wide. But this was where the surprise happened for me. Because, as I mentioned, we had a slow start. Fulham showed moments, but didn't really show anything in terms of an attacking threat inside our box. And in the 18th minute, they actually managed to break the deadlock. Van Dijk, unfortunately, gives the ball away to Pereira, who drives with the ball, squares it to Willian, who dribbles into the box and hits a low shot. Good finish from the Brazilian there. Now, we may differ on this opinion, and I might sound a bit harsh. I think Kelleher should have done better with that save. It wasn't hit with a lot of power, and for me, it was close to him. I know in his defense, he had Konate and Van Dijk probably blocking his path, but there was only one area where Willian was going to shoot, and that was on his near post. So I feel like he should use his instinct to cover that area or go to ground in that area, because if it was going to go towards his current position, it would have been blocked by either of the defenders. So for me, might be harsh, but I feel like the goalkeeper should have done better there. Around the 23rd minute, Van Dijk is booked after he accidentally made contact on Pereira's face with his hand. For me, not a booking, and the only reason I'm mentioning is because of the theatrics that Pereira showed, rolling around like he got a haymaker on the jaw. And for me, that's just shameful behavior on the pitch. Probably something he learned in the Bruno Fernandes theatre school over in Carrington, as he's a former Man United player. Moving on, 29th minute, Diaz has a shot that was blocked outside the box. Showed a good moment of play there from the Reds. Around the half-line mark, Van Dijk makes the tackle on Jimenez. Could easily have gone down. Could easily have been a yellow card. I don't personally think that challenge warrants any sort of punishment, but we know in this sort of season or in this day and age when it comes to official, when you're already on a yellow, you're playing a risky game making those sort of tackles, because he didn't make any contact on the ball. Luckily for us, the game continued and nothing was awarded. Around the 37th minute, Robinson, who had a good game, hits a great cross into the danger zone towards the Cordova Reed. But Luis Diaz fantastically makes a clearance, great interception, and also a great block by Bradley on Willian early on in that move, which led to a throw-in. And then that's when Robinson ended up producing that cross. And around the 43rd minute, Pereira has a crack from distance with his left foot, tame effort. Easy save for Kelleher. And just at the last minute of the first half, which was 40th minute, Joe Gomez hits the shot from outside the box. Just hits the side netting. Now, for a moment, I thought that was creeping into the goal, but unfortunately, it wasn't the case. So overall, a slow start, as I mentioned, to Liverpool. Showed some good moments with build-up play, but didn't really trouble the keeper as much as they should have, in my opinion. Fulham had one moment to score, and that's exactly what they did, and that's what they capitalized on. Still a long way to go in terms of the second half. And at that stage, I'm thinking Liverpool need to step up if we were to get anything from the game. If you continue with that same performance into the second half, Fulham would have been victorious. Second half, positive start from Liverpool. Gravenberch, who had a quiet first half, drives with the ball, cuts Diop inside out, hits a shot that unfortunately just goes wide. And for me, if that was on target, it would have been a goal, as Leno was flat-footed and would not have been able to reach that ball as it was hitting the bottom corner. Next minute, Elliott almost sets up Jota, but he's blocked off before pulling the trigger. And then you've got Curtis Jones, who unleashed a shot from a corner kick. Comfortable save by Leno in the end. 54th minute, great 1-2 between Jota and Gravenberch. Jota cuts in to take a shot, gets blocked by Robinson. Should have shot first time, in my opinion. Too many touches as he cut in. And the chance was pretty gone there. So just before the hour mark, double substitution from Klopp, Gravenberch and Elliott off for Gakpo and Nunez. But Fulham hit Liverpool on the counter-attack, and this happened for about a 10-15 minute period in the second half. Jimenez hits a low shot towards the corner, but that effort was blocked by Gomez just before it reached the goal. And a couple of minutes later, Fulham go again. The Cordova read with a low cross from the right-hand side, cleared by Konate for a corner. And then around the 62nd minute, the Cordova Reed has a fantastic chance on the corner from the right-hand side. Hits a low shot, parried away by Kelleher. Now, I think looking back at it, maybe he should have squared it to Pereira, who was coming from a deep run. Big opportunity, as that probably may have killed the momentum for Liverpool going forward. And at that stage, I was getting frustrated with the team, as Liverpool were far too open and conceding a lot of counter-attacks. So for me, the team needed to be a lot more compact. And then around the 66th minute, appeals were made for a penalty as McAllister hits a free kick. Robinson tries to hit the ball, completely misses it, and it hits his hand. Now, regardless of what the commentator said, for me, who were talking pretty much rubbish throughout the game, that was a penalty. His hand has obstructed a ball from reaching an attacking position in the 6-yard box. So I don't know if it's accidental, he didn't see it, but those chances or those kind of incidents have always been given as a handball, despite how soft you think it is. But in this game, it was announced no VAR, so that's the final decision from the ref, I guess. But a couple of minutes later, around the 68th minute, Liverpool managed to get the equaliser, as it was Curtis Jones who hits a shot towards goal, gets a wicked deflection from Tosin. It loops over Leno and into the back of the net. Lucky goal, but it helps Liverpool equalise. And at that stage, momentum is with the Reds, as the crowd are more vocal and they're there to help the team and drive them going for that second goal. And that's exactly what happened a couple of minutes later. Fantastic play from Liverpool as they attack from the left-hand side. Jota drives with the ball, passes it to Nunez, who cuts it back first time, and Gakpo applies a first-time left-footed finish to make it 2-1. And Nunez, around the 74th minute, steps up to take a free kick. I don't think I've ever seen him do that before, to be fair. His effort just goes over the bar. And the next minute, Jota almost makes it 3-1 as he hits a left-footed strike with a pure venom from the outside of the box. Just over the bar for that one as well. Gakpo, around the 78th minute, hits a fantastic delivery in the box. Nunez leaps and hits a header towards goal. Good effort from Nunez there, tipped over by Leno for a corner. And around the 82nd minute, Gakpo drives with the ball, hits a nice through ball to Nunez, who was away from goal, so probably wasn't in the more central position to take that shot first time. But, you know, Nunez does what he wants, and he hits a first-time shot with pure power that was saved by Leno. And one of the final moments of the game was Conor Bradley, around the 87th minute, hits a fantastic cross to Nunez, who hits this shot first time, blocked by Leno. I don't think Nunez could have done any better. It's one of those instinctive finishes that you go for, and you just hope that it slots into the back of the net. But it wasn't the case. Overall, I'm satisfied with the result. Even though it was at Anfield, I knew it was going to be a tricky game. But credit to the players, for me, who showed great drive and determination to never give up, and they kept on going. Second leg takes place in a couple of weeks' time, which is on the 24th of Jan. So yeah, not long to go until we can safely say we're off to Wembley. So what I'll do now, I'll do the player ratings, and then I will get people on in terms of the corner show after the player ratings. So just going to go through the comments here. I've got a comment here from Daz. It says, big up Ozzie, I'll send you a link for the other channel I mod for on Twitter. Yeah, go for it, Daz. I'll have a look after the show. And then Daz has also said, will Trent or Don be back for second leg, Ozzie? So Trent, from what I know, is out for 3 weeks. So I don't think he'll be ready for that one. So Bosley might have an outside chance, as his sort of injury was reported that he'll be out for a couple of weeks. So he might just be touch and go for that one. So it'll be depending on what the situation of the squad. If we need him, I'd probably try and keep him away from the team if possible. I think he needed a bit of a rest before that injury anyway. So let's see how it goes. Trent, for me, I don't think it'll happen, but Don might have an outside chance. So what I'll do, I'll present the graphic and I'll go 1 for 1 in terms of the player performances. So let's start with Keller. Keller, for me, didn't really have a busy evening as such, so nothing to really highlight in terms of any good saves. He made a couple of saves. I think the Cordova Reed had a couple of shots on goal. For me, I might be sounding a bit harsh. I think he should have done better with the first one, the first goal that we conceded. I think in terms of positioning, yes, he was obstructing in terms of the view from Van Dijk and Konate, but there was only a small area for him to kind of make that save. So I don't know. I don't think that shot was hit with pure venom either, so it could easily have been saved. It was only inches away from him. So for me, yeah, I don't think he had the best of games. So in terms of his ranking, might be harsh. Let me know, guys. I'm going for a 6 out of 10. I don't think he, and I'm not saying he's to blame for that as well, but I just feel like he didn't play to his sort of highest level, in my opinion, and because he wasn't really making any big saves, I can't really rank him too high on that basis. So 6 out of 10 for Kelleher. In terms of the back four, let's start with Conor Bradley. I thought he was phenomenal in this game, considering that he wasn't expected to participate. Obviously, the Trent Alexander-Arnold news just came about, I think, yesterday. So for him to be thrown into a game where, Fulham, all due respect, aren't the highest level of oppositions, but it's still a very strong Premier League team. The team that we played against today were the strongest outfit that they could present. And obviously, a couple of players are off at AFCON right now. But despite that, they still had a very strong team. Our team is a bit of a mixed match because of players on international duty, injuries, and etc. So for him to come in and produce a solid performance like that, and I believe that's his first start for the Reds as well, I thought he was fantastic. Defensively, very, very good. Gave Willian a torrid time. Willian couldn't really get past him much throughout the game. And even from an attacking point of view, he did really well. Did a cheeky nutmeg on Palhinha, and Palhinha had to clip him from behind to give away a free kick there. But no, I thought he was very, very good. Solid all round. Obviously, he's young, so there'll be areas of his games that he needs to improve in terms of positioning. The first goal, I feel like he was pushed away by Willian too easily, dropped to ground in that incident there. But I think for me, overall, had a very, very good game. So I'm going to give him an 8.5 out of 10. Just got a comment here from Daz, who said, poor game, 5 for Kelleher. So yeah, I'll give him 6, so you're giving him 5. So yeah, I think we're on the same wavelength there. And then Keep It Level gives us a thumbs up. Thank you for your comment. Thank you for tuning in as well. On to next player. So let's go with the other fullback. Let's go with Joe Gomez. For me, Joe Gomez, another solid performance. Yeah, it's so refreshing to see him playing week in, week out now. Playing more of an unfamiliar role. I know a lot of fans will say, oh, but he made his debut as a left back, but he was never a traditional left back. He's just a very versatile player that can play in different roles. But since he's been the first choice at left back, he's really excelled, in my opinion. And yeah, today was another game where he wasn't. The Cordova Reed, for me, didn't really trouble him that much. Maybe had 1 or 2 moments on like a half-yard turn, but didn't really do anything to present any danger to the defensive line. and for me had another solid game. So for Joe Gomez, I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. And then Van Dijk probably didn't have his best of games, to be brutally honest. Obviously, the first goal was down to a misjudgment in terms of the clearance. I think he was trying to head it away, but didn't have enough power or sort of like distance to go away from danger. It pretty much fell into the hands of a Fulham player, and it led to Willian finishing the goal there. So now for me, didn't have the best of games. Maybe he was rushed because he was out with illness over the weekend. So I don't know, but I don't think even after the goal that we conceded, he still had a decent performance in my opinion. So in terms of his ranking, no shade in terms of Van. I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I think Gomez and Bradley were the standout sort of defensive players in my eyes. So I feel like they deserve a bit more praise in this fixture. In terms of Van Dijk's partner there, Konate, for me, was a lot better in this game. There were a couple moments where he almost gave the ball away, I think due to the pressure from Fulham, but generally had a solid game, and I thought he did really well. So for his ranking, or rating, I should say, I'm going to give him a 7.5. Excuse me. Just got a comment from Daz, who says, big up, keep it level, big up yourself as well. Now on to the midfield. Let's start with McAllister. McAllister had a decent game. Yeah, it's one of those games where I feel like he made the right passes here and there, but nothing that really took me off of my seat or anything groundbreaking. But what I did like was his energy around the pitch, trying to block any attacks. Tried his best in aerial challenges, but he was beaten quite a few times with regards to that. So had a solid performance, nowhere outstanding from what I've seen previously. So I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. In terms of Gravenberch, for me, had a very quiet game. A couple of misplaced passes here and there. The only positive one was probably in the first few minutes of the second half, where he took the ball, cut Diop inside out, took a shot, just goes wide. If that had gone towards the post and in, I think it would have been a fantastic goal. But I wouldn't say it's a disappointing performance. So if that was the case, I would rank him very, very low. But I just think he had a quiet game, didn't have as much of an impact that I would have liked to have seen from Gravenberch. So I'm going to give him a 6.5. Oh, nothing. Nothing below 0 point there. So you got 6.5. And Jones, fantastic performance. What can I say about Curtis Jones? Yeah, he's definitely found his form now in the last few weeks. Really excelled in this game. Kept everything neat and tidy. And even towards the last stages of the game, he was pretty much injured, but kept on fighting on, didn't want to be taken off, showed true determination to do it for the team. And obviously the goal, bit of luck, but you got to be in those sort of positions to even have a crack on goal. And for me, probably deserved the goal in terms of his level of performance today. In terms of his stats, he had 98% of passing completed. So that just shows you he kept the ball very well. And that's been one of his strong skill sets this season, where doesn't give the ball away, keeps it, and makes the ball tick around the pitch. So for me, fantastic performance from him. So I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10. And in terms of our attackers, Diaz for me had a bit more of a quieter game than normal to be. Obviously, the last couple of games he was outstanding, stood out by a mile. And this one, I feel like he didn't really find his flow in this one. Tried to make things happen. Didn't have an awful game, but just wasn't as impactful, especially the last couple of games. So for that, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10 rating. In terms of Harvey Elliott, I thought he had a decent first half. Elliott will give you a different opinion with certain fans, where I think because we know he's playing right wing, some people automatically just expect him to be a very sort of flamboyant winger, going down the bar line and causing havoc. But he's a different type of player on that right wing. He's more of a creative output from there. Likes to cut in and make things happen for the team in terms of threading through balls, and interchange with players so they can create space for the attackers. So for me, he had a good game. Was taken off around the hour mark. Probably just rested, to be fair. I don't think he had an awful game. And it was more of a tactical change more than anything else. And we need more of a output from an attacking point of view. So that's why we had Gakpo playing further up. So for me, to his performance, I'll give him a 7 out of 10 as well. And then Jota, for me, showed flashes of his great play. Unable to get on the score sheet today, but I feel like he was very, very positive in his performance. Showing good speed whenever he's got the ball. He had his work cut out because he had to pretty much have his back towards the centre backs. Maybe that's one area he needs to look into where he doesn't need to play in that manner. Maybe play a bit more deeper and then just get them on the half turn rather than playing up against the centre backs, because he's not that type of striker. He's not a big man up top. So use your skill set to your advantage and use your speed and skill and agility where they won't be able to catch you. So for me, good performance. Good to see him getting some game time. Hopefully that'll help with him in terms of finding that rhythm and then getting some consecutive goals on the score sheet as well. So for me, I'll give him a 7.5 out of 10. And then what I'll do now, well, firstly, let me know what you guys think of my ranking. Have I been harsh, generous with my ratings there? Drop a comment and let me know what you think. Just got a comment here from Riley, who says, start Nunes every week, 18 goal assists this season, and it's January. Yeah, Nunes, you're going to get different opinions from everyone. I still feel like, in terms of his output, he does a lot for the team. Some fans will disagree because he's not scoring the goals. But for me, you have to look at the player. What's he doing for the team? What's he contributing? Whenever he comes on, whether he's playing centrally or on the left, he's causing havoc. He's making things happen for other people. Like today, he pretty much got 2 assists on the belt. So for me, finishing is the area he needs to improve on regardless. And yeah, there's certain areas of his game where he needs a bit more composure, a bit of patience, especially when he's further up top, because he tends to get into offside positions quite a lot. So no, for me, I wouldn't say he should start every game in that regards, but for me, it'll be depending on the opposition in terms of what we need, because he might be exactly what we need on that left-hand side at times against certain oppositions where the right back might not want to fancy up against a very rampant player, and he will always stretch teams playing on that left-hand side. So for me, depends on the opposition. But, Nuno is pretty much involved in the team. So whether he's playing week in, week out, he will definitely participate in some shape or form. Today he didn't start, but he definitely made an impact coming on. So we can delve into that ranking right now. So let's add, we only made 2 substitutions today, which is good. Normally it would be 4 or 5, but I don't think they were needed at that stage. I think our bench was quite a youthful one, so there's no point of throwing any of the youngsters unless it was urgent to do so. So let's bring them on. So it's Gakpo. He came on for Gravenberch. So put Gakpo there. And then we've got Harvey Elliott, who's come off, and it was Nunes. So let's put him here. So let's start with Nunes, actually. So, like I mentioned, he came on, made a big impact. Was the player that laid it off to Jones to hit that shot. So that's an assist. Might not be a world-class, sublime through ball type of assist, but he's the one that laid it off. So that's an assist. He certainly gave a great cross to Gakpo for that second assist. So 2 assists as he comes off the bench. Played about 35 minutes, 40 minutes. And yeah, definitely caused havoc, attacking both channels at times. Understanding where to go as well, because we had more of a traditional right back in Conor Bradley. He wasn't an inverted fullback. So he knew that if Bradley was coming in for a little bit, he can go out wide and attack that channel. So for me, he showed more game intelligence today. Probably didn't really have any. He had that 1 or 2 chances where he had a shot on goal. I think the last one where it was actually Conor Bradley who gave him the cross. That one was an instinctive shot because you don't really have time to maneuver as much. You kind of depend on the weight and the pace of the ball. And then that's when you kind of follow up and then take a first-time shot. So blocked by the keeper, it could have easily have gone in. If it's gone in, then we would be having a different tone of voice right now. But I thought he was fantastic today. So I'm going to give Darwin Nunes an 8 out of 10. And Gakpo as well, you know, for me, and I've said it and I have no shame in saying it, I don't think his best work is in midfield. But when he comes off the bench in these sort of roles or positions where we need a bit more of an attacking threat from a midfield area, he managed to do the job today. He seems to have a free role. So you've got like, I feel like he's playing more of this sort of like a number 10 almost. And you had McAllister and Jones covering him in that regard. So yeah, there's a lot of times where he was like that. That's what led to the goal where he made that movement and shot from there. So for me, good game for me. I think he scored 4 goals in the Carabao Cup so far as well. And I think we played 4 games. So yeah, he definitely likes this competition. And yeah, he's scoring vital goals at vital times for us. So the good thing about our attackers right now, they're all contributing, they're all scoring, which is good to see. We're not relying on one player because Liverpool fans have always been told that, oh, we're a one-man team because we've got Mo Salah. Never the case. We are able to score around the pitch, especially this new Klopp 2.0 team. We can score from different areas of the pitch. We're scoring more goals from long distance. So yeah, we're a different animal right now. So for me, another good performance from him. So I'm going to give Gakpo an 8 out of 10. Just going to go through the comments and then we'll see if there's anyone backstage for the calling show. So we've got Daz, who says good rankings. Thank you, Daz. And then Riley says, Dad, we're getting an 11-day break. Yeah, we need this break so we can heal. They probably booked a flight to Dubai because that's what they did previously as well. So yeah, hopefully the players can enjoy the sun. Yeah, they can do a proper training camp there as well in humidity, which I'm sure will be helpful when we play our upcoming games. I think the upcoming game, will it be this one? Let me just double check. Because I know we've got Bournemouth coming up very soon in the Premier League. So that'll be the first game we play. So that's on a Sunday. That's on the 21st. And then the following game will be the second leg against Fulham at Graham Cottage. So yeah, games are coming thick and fast. But yeah, the international, or should I say winter break, is perfectly timed right now. So that's my player ratings for the players. Drop a comment. Let me know what you guys think. I can see a special guest backstage. So let me bring him on for you guys. And it's Anfield Uncle Roz. Uncle Roz, thank you for coming on the show. Firstly, how are you doing, sir?
I am very well, sir. How are you?
Yeah, all good. What do you think of the game?
It is a game of two halves, but you know what? It's strangely, I had confidence at the end of the day that Liverpool's going to win, because that's what they do. They're kind of like, they'll go a goal behind, but they'll keep on battling. And when you think they're like done out here, they'll come back and score 2 goals to win the game. Do you know what I mean? Not Bobby Club.
Conor Bradley?
Conor Bradley, sorry. Conor Bradley. Always get the two. Conor Bradley, he was awesome tonight.
Brilliant.
He was awesome. Do you know how many times he made tackles and won the ball? And even after like losing the ball, he'll go back, chase down the man, win the ball. Even that cross for Nunes at the day, right? That cross winning for Nunes. If it wasn't for brilliant goalkeeper, because their goalkeeper was good tonight.
He was.
Fulham's goalkeeper was good tonight. I'll give it his due. He was good tonight. And like Conor Bradley crossed the ball in, and like basically, and they like Nunes had a tap in. Do you know what I mean? But the goalkeeper saved it. But it's a cross for me. The cross was especially after he won the ball. He won the ball, like robbed the opponent, and then crossed it like that. Listen, he's made a good shout at the day to be a star at the day. Whilst obviously Trent is out. I mean, I would like that. Do you know what I mean? That for that situation to happen, so we can keep sort of like Gomez on the left as a left back until obviously either Tsimikas or Robertson comes back. Do you know what I mean? Because we're expecting, like, I think we're expecting Robertson back, kind of like at the end of the month. But even then, we can't throw him in the deep end. He more like have like 2 subs, won't he? Like 2 or 3 sub games and stuff, and until he gets a start, and then what we then do is like push sort of like Gomez back out to right back. Do you know what I mean? And they can sort of like obviously battle it out between them two depending on the game, sort of Bradley or Gomez. You know what I mean? But I thought Bradley was awesome tonight. He was just really, really good. He stepped up when he was called upon.
Yeah.
You know what I find. You know what I find at the day, right? Is that we have certain injuries to our players and stuff, yeah, and we think, yeah, right, Klopp, you need to spend. But then Klopp will pick something out of the academy and I think, nah. I said, no, it's all right, my friend. It's all right. We're good.
Yeah,
We're good. I've got this you here. I've got this guy here, man. He can do a job.
yeah,
You know what I mean? You know. But I don't think at the day that Klopp's going to buy anybody this January. I think he'll probably be summer, if anything.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Reevaluate in summer and probably, get a few additions in summer and stuff. Because I think what he will do, he will use a lot of these academy players to fill the spot until obviously we get a full 11. You know what I mean? Imagine that we got 10 players out. We got 10 players out. Injuries and obviously international commitments and stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was liking it. I mean, I was watching the game and stuff. Fulham put up a good fight.
Yeah.
But I always thought, this game is here for us to win. Do you know what I mean? And when he made those changes, see, this is what people got to realize about Darwin Núñez at the day, right? Is one thing at the day, he doesn't score goals, but he affects the games.
Yes.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, it'd be, as you said before, it'd be totally different in the day if, say, for instance, one, he didn't score, and two, he didn't affect the game. Then you can say, well, look, he's bloody useless.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But you can't really say that now because he contributes to the game. That game changed drastically, for Fulham at the end of the day when he came on. When even Gakpo came on, that game changed drastically for them. They didn't know whether they're coming or going. Had to take Paulino off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he was getting rings run around him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what I thought some of the tactics, some of them tactics, what they was doing tonight, falling over, faking fouls and stuff like that. I thought, not
Pereira, especially, he was on one today. Oh my God.
Oh, it's horrible, man. You know what I mean? It's horrible. You know what I mean? But all in all, good result for us. You know what I mean? We got 2-1 lead to go back to Cottage. Do you know what I mean? And stuff. And at the end of the day, if we score a goal in the thing, then they've got a mountain to climb. Do you know what I mean? So I'm fairly pleased. I'm gonna say fairly pleased. I'm pleased with tonight's work.
No, fair play. I co-sign everything you said there. I think for me, in terms of the substitutions that you mentioned, that's been one of Klopp's outstanding, I think, things he's done this season. Last season, I thought was quite critical in terms of the timing of substitutions or even the personnel that he brought onto the pitch. This year, I think he's got everything spot on. I'm not even just trying to sugarcoat it. Like you said about Núñez, it depends who you listen to, right? Because you'll get fans that speak to rival fans and it'll kind of get into their head that, oh, you've got a used striker who doesn't get goals, this and that. But as Emirali mentioned, 18 goals and assists. And I think there was a stat that I read early on where, in terms of strikers in the league who've had the biggest sort of like chances missed in front of goal, Núñez was top, but second was Haaland. So it just shows you like those are the players, they play with intensity and they are the ones that create a lot of chances and they convert them. The only difference between those two strikers is that Haaland is a clinical finisher. And that's something Núñez has to work on going forward. But in terms of Núñez's introduction to the game, he just brought intensity, urgency in that front play because we were quite one pace. I think we didn't really have someone stretching the team. I know we had Diaz on the pitch, but he wasn't as influential in this game, in my opinion. So he came on, and even Gakpo as well. He was playing in more of a deeper role, but he added so much guile and possession of the ball, and he drove the ball so many times as well. So for me, they definitely had an impact on the game. And let's talk about Conor Bradley. You mentioned that fans are like, oh, get a centre back, get a right back, this and that. And Klopp is like, now calm down. I've got someone in the ranks.
Yeah, I've got you. I've got you.
Look, we were all screaming for Kwanzaa, we were all screaming for a centre back, I should say, in the last 6 months. We've got Kwanzaa.
Yeah.
So is it an urgency to get a centre back right now? I personally, obviously, if you're playing FIFA, it's like, get someone in. But you got to look at the squad where we've got the numbers. And let's not forget, as Liverpool, we don't really sign players on the kind of urgency that, let's just get someone for the sake of it. We've got a strategy in place in terms of who comes in and who goes out. So we're not going to sign someone on a short-term basis. I think if we have in the past is we've actually signed people on loan So the likes of was that Turkish defender we got from Germany? I forgot his name. Kabak. Kabak and Ben Davies.
Nori.
Yeah. So it's players like that just came in. Or remember when Klopp first joined, we had Steven Corker that came in for like.
He was atrocious, wasn't he?
He was. But we bought players because we needed numbers, right? And now we've got the numbers, so we don't need to make any drastic sort of changes. Obviously, Kwanzaa coming in is like a breath of fresh air where I knew about him, but I didn't know in terms of the levels that he can produce on the pitch right now, because for me, he's beyond his years.
Yes.
A player that was playing for Bristol Rovers on loan last year, coming in, playing like he's been at the club for years in terms of how he's playing. So for me, that shows me we don't really need a centre back in this window, in my opinion. In terms of DM, in terms of DM, that is probably an area I feel like we do need to strengthen, but I don't see it happening right now, unless something automatically becomes available. And the big talk is about Trent. Where is his long-term position? I think we'll probably find out in the next few months where it is, because right now we're playing a certain way. So once we've accomplished what we can this season, we can kind of review that in the summer and see what needs to be upgraded. But Conor Bradley is presenting a great headache, where I know I'm not going overboard. He's just only had one great game, but it's great to see a youngster coming through and producing that level of performance.
2 great games.
2 great games.
Come on against Arsenal, and he come on against Arsenal. Martin Elliott, and there was toasting.
Yes, Martin, you're
Trent on that side. He was toasted inside.
Yeah, he cut the byline for him. He didn't give him any space whatsoever.
That's what I'm saying. If you want for like Konate stepping in not once but twice, stepped in twice. You know what I mean? We could have been talking about a different score here today.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? 100%. But like when Conor Bradley came on that day, came on for the last, I think, 20 minutes or so. He must have said to Martin, okay, you want to play football? All right, I'm with you, man. Let's play football. Yeah. Let's do it. Because he could not get past him. He could not get past Conor Bradley. Everywhere he went, Bradley was there, and Bradley was just taking the ball from him, pickpocketing every time. You know what I mean? There's a message going around that sort of like that message going around that basically like Arteta had to phone Klopp to ask these 2 players back. You know what I mean? Because Declan Rice got toasted in midfield as well by Clark. Clark done him in midfield. So Arteta was on the phone next day and goes, "Can I have my players back, please?" You know? No, but you know what I mean. So when you look at it, he's impressed not only once, but he's been impressed twice. You know what I mean? And I think if he can put in at the end of the day, sort of like these kind of performances when he steps onto the pitch for Liverpool Football Club, well, then at the end of the day, you'll be fighting for a right back position. You're going to be fighting for a right position. You're going to be saying to the boss at the end of the day, say, "Boss, you don't need to go out and buy a right back. I'm right here."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Me and Gomez can deal with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know? So it does give us somewhat of a healthy headache. You know what I mean? And then you got sort of like Kwanzaa at the end of the day that's come in and like he's just took to sort of like Klopp's philosophy how to play football.
Yeah.
He took it like duck to water. Do you know what I mean? This is what I explained them on a stream earlier today.
Yeah.
And I explained it in the day, sort of like what Klopp's done, his philosophy is at the day, right? Is the academy, like the under-23s, have to train like the first team. Yeah? Like the first team. You know, I'm learning tactics. He wants them to play like the first team. The under-18s I've got to play like the under-23s.
Yeah.
Yeah? The under-16s I've got to play like the under-18s. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the philosophy at the day is like, if everybody's playing the same and getting the same results, what happens is this, right? Is if you get an injury to, like, as we've got Trent, we had an injury to him. Do you know what I mean? Klopp can then go to the academy and pick up a right back and say, "Yeah, come and fill in," because he already knows the blueprint. You understand what I'm saying? He already knows the blueprint, so he knows what to do. That's when Kwanzaa came in. and he played those games in the first.
Yeah,
He knew
true.
exactly what to do.
Mm.
He knew exactly what to do, and he knew exactly how to play the game against when he came with Newcastle and all other games. Yes, and they're gonna make the little mistakes now and again. You know what I mean? Because they're getting used to sort of like
Yeah,
playing in the first team. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
yeah,
And like they will get over the mistakes. Do you know what I mean? Because one thing they have got, they've got experienced people around them that's gonna say that, no man, don't worry, man, don't worry. You got this
yeah,
next time. You got this in the Philly. Just make sure you're there. Do you know what I mean? And stuff. Do you understand what I'm saying? Giving them a
yeah.
helping hand. Do you know what I'm saying? You know?
Mm.
So really and truly, what he's doing at the day, what Klopp's doing, is created one massive team.
Yeah,
Not a team of 11, not a team of 22. He's creating literally a team of like 50 to 60 players.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what he's creating and that. So when you take somebody out the under 23s to play in the first team, you can then take somebody out the under 18s to play in under 23s. You feel me? You know what I mean?
yeah. No,
They all know the same philosophy going all the way up to the first team. You know
no,
what I
you're
mean?
spot on. You're
Yeah,
spot on.
it's amazing.
Just to add to your point, I think the difference as well, since we've had this new training ground, AXA, whatever, some fans call it La AXA, because of like the sort of Latin influence that we have in the team. But all of the players, all of the teams that we have, they're all training one complex now.
Yeah.
So whereas Millwood, it was segregated a little bit. So the youth players would only train amongst themselves. Now they're all training in one big sort of complex now. So
Yeah.
like you said, with the tactics being deployed, Klopp's philosophy is spread everywhere. So now, if you're training amongst the young players, so if the youngsters are training with the first team, they're getting a taste of first team football. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
they're getting to go up against the likes of Van Dijks and the big players that we have in our team. So what he's showing is unity in some shape or form, because he's not saying to you, "Oh, you're a youngster, you're not good enough to be in the first team." Klopp has always said, "If you're good enough, you will be playing. Doesn't matter how old you are." So
Yeah.
for me, that's always been with Klopp. He's always given youth players a chance.
Yeah.
And in this case, we kind of didn't have a choice. We maybe could have played a sort of more of a senior player in sort of like a makeshift position. And he said, "You know what? I've got a young right back who's just come through. I watched him at Bolton last season, and Klopp has said in the past as well, he had a fantastic season for Bolton. He was their player of the year. So there's definitely something in the player where we can, utilize. Whether he's Liverpool's long-term right back, that remains to be seen, and that's probably another discussion for another day. But in terms of short-term and this season, he can make a big impact in our season, because his performance in the next few weeks will help us to get to Wembley and hopefully even win us a trophy. So if he does a good job in these two semi-final legs, he's actually played a big part in that. So even if he isn't a long-term player at Liverpool, that's still in his resume that, look, I was the guy that came in when Trent wasn't there, and I helped Liverpool get to the final and we won the cup. So
goes into the Europa Cup, the same thing. Goes in the Europa Cup, same thing. Gets a medal out of that. Goes in his resume. Because remember, as you're saying at the day, so like the youngsters and all that. Remember at the day, he had a 16-year-old youngster on the bench that won they bought from Leicester. And I think he's like a winger. Do you know what I mean?
Midfielder, yeah. And Anoni, I think his name is, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Anoni, yeah. And he nearly got some minutes today. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So really and truly at the day, it's just like these youngsters at the day, they're in awe of Klopp at the day, right? Because Klopp at the day, if you do work, look what we did to Bobby Clark. He ran over and he hugged Bobby Clark and he was talking to him from that, right? For a young kid like that, that's just awesome. That's just awesome, and I think that because that gives that person today so much comfort. It's like it was like at school and I think that, right? You're at school and you're learning something. If you had a teacher today where I say, "Yeah, man, that's really good. You've done really well then. You've done really well then." I think that keep up the good work. That gave you that sort of inspiration, that confidence,
that
boost, to try harder.
Yeah,
to try harder next time, and you know what I mean. So you can get that praise. You know what I mean. And Klopp's that sort of person. He will praise you when he has to praise you, but he'll criticize you when he has to criticize you. And he won't be like a sort of like a bad criticism. It'll just be a constructive criticism. Instead of like, you can do better on doing this and doing that. Do you know what I mean? That's why that Klopp at that Liverpool Football Club, he's loved by everybody.
Of course. Look at he's a special manager, man, and
Oh.
to believe that some people wanted him out. I won't get into that too much, but there were a lot of fans that were that's we're going to end up doing a 2-hour show. But for people to say Klopp out, for me is always a mind-boggling thing because there's no one else that could come in and make that kind of impact in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like if we didn't have Klopp, God knows who that next person is because we'll be going through years and years finding that right person. Look at United across the road, like what they're doing. Do you know what I mean? So for me, he's a special manager. He's a very infectious manager, and I've said it in a positive way. Where, like you said, when you get that little, like even if you do one small good thing, like Bobby Clark made that one big tackle in that game, and like he stopped the counter attack from there, but he helped the team, and then even Klopp going over to him to say, "Oh, well done, mate. That was a good one." Like it uplifts someone in a different way that you wouldn't expect. So, like those kind of kind words or a hug, like the infamous hug that everyone says.
There's a picture. There's actually a picture on Google, and he's got his arm around Bobby Clark, and then smiling and talking and that, and it's just so good to see him for that because for a guy of that age and everything, and that will mean so much for him. He'll cherish that moment as long as he lives.
Oh, 100%.
That moment, he'll think that moment will be in his head and day as long as he lives. And everything like he'll be like, in his like 50s when he's really, finished football and that. And he'll say, I remember my gaffer in the day, Jurgen Klopp. He has so much confidence in me, and if he was such a good human being, he will remember that. And it was just so good to see. I mean, to be honest, today I don't want another manager really. The only way that Klopp leaves in the day, right? I'm sorry, the name. It might sound bad. And the way he leaves in a coffin. I'm sorry. Do you know what I mean? But do you know what I mean, though?
I get what you mean. I get what you mean. Yeah.
Put it this way, at this present stage, right? At this present stage of Jurgen Klopp's career, he's earned a statue.
Oh, 100%.
He's earned a statue, and he hasn't even finished with Liverpool yet. He's earned a statue, and that is amazing. And even what he's done with his team and they getting all the team training together, young, old, and stuff like that. Do you know how amazing that is to do? And do you know how hard that is to do? You know what I mean, right? And his charisma, things that he's done, like when Divock Origi scored that last second goal, and he ran on the pitch and for that, he jumped and hugged Alisson. You're not gonna get that from any other manager.
Nah, it's true. It's so true. It's so true. I'm gonna ask you a cheeky question. Do you think we can do the quad?
Okay. I'll say to you, like I say to everybody else, right?
Yeah.
We're top of the league. Yeah. Hope.
Yes.
We're through to the last round of semi-finals. Yeah. We're literally one game away from Wembley. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hope. We've beaten one of the hardest teams in the FA Cup. Arsenal through to the next round. Hope. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've won the group in Europa Cup. Yeah. And we've moved to the next round and think that, and I can't foresee a lot of teams hurting us. Hope again. So what we got in the day is hope. The more further we get in this competition, hope slowly turns into belief.
Yeah. And
you start believing that you can do it. So if you ask me, can we do the quad? Right? I hope we can. It's hope at the moment. Yes. It's only hope at the moment still. You know what I mean? I'm not like Igel and all them man there from them man there. So we're gonna smash the league and everything that. And then when they bottle it, then for they get man crying on the internet and shit and all that. That's not me. Do you know what I mean? I know some man, some rival fans that have tried to get me in that trap, tried to click me up. I just said, nah, not falling for that. I go, listen, we got hope. So if we don't win it and if nobody can come back to me and say, oh yeah, you said you're gonna win it. I said, nah, man, I never said that. I said, I hope we was gonna win it. Yeah. I hoped. Do you know what I mean? So hope is different than belief. So it's a hope still, but you know what? We're in a good place at the moment.
Yes.
To do that. We're in a good place to do it at the moment for that. and let's just cherish it. Let's just cherish this good moment that we're in. Do you know what I mean? Playing, we're doing what it needs at the day to get through in games. Now our next game and the day in the league is Bournemouth on the 21st.
21st. Yeah,
got them on the 21st, which is away. That could potentially be a hard game for us. You know what I mean? Then after that we got Fulham, the last leg with Fulham. And that would determine at the day sort of like us if we win, determines us getting to the final. And Chelsea have got I think we played the Tuesday and then Chelsea played the Wednesday now, isn't it? Something like that.
I think so. Yeah. So I think after that it will be the FA Cup 4th round, which is the 27th. That's a Saturday, and then we've got Chelsea on the 31st. So that's a Wednesday. We got them on a Wednesday.
And we could beat them.
Yeah. It's at Anfield as well.
I don't see anything unfair from Chelsea, but we just see how the game goes. It's at Anfield again.
Yeah.
And they tend to not do well at Anfield. You know what I mean? So long may it last. It's good form and that, and hopefully by that time, like the 31st, hopefully we should have a few more players back. Injured players. We should have a few more players back, and we can kick on. Do you know what I mean? Listen, whatever we achieve, this is what you got to think about. Don't make these rival fans fool you. Don't make them fool you, man. Whatever at the end of the day we achieve this season, and that is a bonus. You know that, because we've actually ripped out the spine of our team. We have, and put in a new spine at the end of the day, right? And that's very hard to. Number one, it's very hard to do, and two, it's very hard to get results doing that. Do you understand what I'm getting at? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we seem to sort of like be getting these results, and if not, the team seems to be clicking and all sorts. So anything we achieve this season, whether it just be a League Cup, you know what I mean, or whether it be an FA Cup as well, do you know what I mean? It's a bonus, because we're not supposed to be in this position. You know that, don't you?
Yeah.
We're not supposed to be in this position. Do you know what I mean? Because we've ripped out the spine of our team. We've let go of 5 players and only brought in 4. And those 5 players that were the spine of our team. But we seem to be doing well. It seems to be the breath of fresh air that we needed. So
definitely.
Let's see what happens. I think we can do something special this season.
Yeah. No, I feel that same energy as well, too. I think you answered that question very well. But I know what you're like in terms of as a person. You're not ahead of yourself. We're experienced Liverpool fans, so we know over the years you can't be trolling in January right now. You can't be talking smack saying we're going to win the league and stuff, because a lot can happen. We've lost league titles, in the last stages of a season, due to unforeseen circumstances. So we know to be humble as we get closer to that closing line. Does that make sense? So but no, but we, like you said, we can hope, we can pray, we can dream, because we're in all of the competitions. So you have to be in it to win it, as the saying goes. So for me, it's been a great season so far. I think, like you said, we took out our spine. We're in a transitional period right now, so we shouldn't be doing anything right now. We should be outside the top 4, just showing a bit of like positivity here and there. But we're blowing everyone out of the waters right now. No one's actually giving us any expectations, or I don't think they've even given us credit. But to be fair, I don't really seek credit from other people, in my opinion. For me, I know what my team's doing. I take it a game at a time. I don't really go too far ahead. But we're there. We can make it a possibility in terms of winning all comps. Obviously, with the League Cup, we can probably talk in a bit more positive manner, because we've got pretty much one leg away from a cup final, and that cup final will be taking place end of Feb, early March. So not long away to go for that final there. So, well, look, we got the win today, which is the most important thing. That's why we're speaking in such high regards of our team right now. And long may it continue. Obviously, a couple of weeks time. So you make sure you can come on for that match reaction as well for the second leg. Hopefully it's a victory, and we can talk about how we're going to do in the final. Talk positively in that way.
Yeah.
Uncle Rods, thank you for coming on the show. Always a pleasure talking to you.
Listen, always a pleasure, my friend. And please, guys,
Yeah.
today, just one last thing with our girl. Please, guys, like and subscribe to Football Talk Podcast. Like and subscribe to his channel. He does some great stuff. I'm regularly tuning in. If I can't sort of like obviously be on the show, sometimes I'm in the chat. I'll say like, hello, howdy, smash a like and that. Do you know what I mean? Show my support. But please, guys, like and subscribe to his channel. Support him in what he's doing because he's doing some great works with his channel. And you listen, he's straight talking. He's not going to give you any BS. He's just going to give you straight. Do you know what I mean? No, it's true though. It's just straight talking. He's not going to give you any BS. It's going to be straight. So, guys, please like and subscribe to his channel. I mean, at these times, I usually big up my channel, but it's not about that. It's about big up your channel.
Please do, because
then they can find me in the but what isn't they? I'm a selfless person at the end of the day, right?
I know.
I mean, and I believe it. And all right, if I'm on my channel, I'll big up my channel all day long. You feel me?
I get you.
When I'm on somebody else's channel and day, it's all about them. Big up their channel. Do you know what I mean?
I hate you.
Especially when they're just obviously just started, because I know what it's like. I mean, I've got over 2,000 subscribers and that, but I know what it's like when I first started to get my first 100, to get my first 200. You feel me? In a day, right? You need all the support you get. So it's all about you, my friend. It's all about you. You put me on your show to hold the vibe. You know what I mean? It's all about you. So people, please like and subscribe to Football Talk Podcast channel, man. Like and subscribe to him, man. Ozzie is one of the real ones, man. He's my G. That's my G there.
Thank you, Uncle. Appreciate it. But you know me, you know what my personality is like as well. Like, appreciate your support because whenever I'm on the stream, I always see your comments. So it's always nice to see that Uncle Roz has checked out my episode, which is always a nice feeling. But you know what I'm like as well. Like for me, I'm a supporter of your content as well. So it doesn't matter about the numbers. For me, you know, you're on your road to 3K. So it doesn't matter if I'm new or if I'm up and coming. For me, you're doing great content as well. So guys, if you haven't subscribed to Uncle Roz, firstly, what you're doing, you need to do it right now. Uncle Roz, drop a link in the description if you want to, or in the comments. Or you can just type in Uncle Roz's name on YouTube. I'm sure you'll find it. If you're one of my supporters, then you have to be Uncle Roz's supporter as well, because he's been supporting my channel for quite a while now. I've been coming on his show, he's been coming on my show. So yeah, as you can see, great guy in terms of what he's saying. Football knowledge to the T there. No BS, you know, like you said, Uncle Roz, no BS when it comes to us, straight up talking on our shows. So yeah, Uncle Roz, thank you as always. Thank you for your support. And yeah, pleasure to talk to you. And yeah, we'll be chopping up very soon. And we've got some big games coming up. So yeah, we'll have a lot to
we'll be chopping up. We'll be chopping up. But in the meantime, good night and God bless you, my friend. Good night.
Thank you very much. Take care. Stay safe. Thank you very much. Thank you. So just going to go through the comments and then we'll wrap up the show. So let's start with this one. So it's JK. His name says bless up, bros. Thank you for your comment. That says bless up as well. And then JK's net says bless, bro. Daz, okay result today. So they're having a little chat in the comments. And that said need to be in by tomorrow. Predictions, yes. Yep, me just working on them. They'll be wrapped up by then. So yeah, just comment here in terms of Gravenberch. So Gravenberch couldn't find his feet again. Did versus Arsenal. Maybe needs to keep coming off the bench for a while. Yeah, with Gravenberch, it's a tricky one, you know. I think we're managing him the right way, to be fair. I think if he was only making substitute appearances, it can be deflating for a player at times. And because he was pretty much inactive last year, he's trying to get... I know you've probably heard this from me say a few times on the channel, but it's reality. If you haven't really played much for a 12-month period and you come into a new team, new system, new philosophy, new league, new atmosphere, everything is brand new. It's going to take time to get used to that rhythm. So for me, I think he's done a good job so far. This is a young player, 2021. So he's still learning the game. But I like the way how Klopp is managing him in terms of giving him starts here and there, coming him off the bench as well. But like me and Uncle Ross was saying, there's moments where Klopp probably gives you a lot of praise, makes you, feel good about yourself, uplifts you as well. So that's why he's producing all of these performances here and there. So today he didn't have an impact in the game, but the game was a bit of a slow game, if I'm being brutally honest. The first half was quite slow from both teams. No one really showed great urgency in their play, because if Fulham were a bit more on the front foot, then it would have created more space, and that would have allowed Gravenberch maybe be a bit more of a ball carrier and drive the ball. So sometimes you just have to analyze the game and see how it goes. So yeah, he had an okay game, didn't have a huge pressure. I wouldn't say he had a terrible game. I think if anyone says that, that's a slight overreaction in my opinion. But he's finding his feet. And look, this first year, this should be a transitional period for our whole team. So I think for Gravenberch, this will be that sort of season where he finds his feet, finds that rhythm. And next year, I think we'll see the real Gravenberch. But he's showing flashes of it this season, and he's doing more than enough to contribute in this team. So yeah, I'm a big supporter of Gravenberch. I've liked him for a few years now, so I feel like he will do really well at our club. And then Daz is just comment asking, would you start Alisson second leg? I probably wouldn't. I'll still give it to Kelleher. Even the cup final that we played a couple of years ago, I believe it was Kelleher that it was. Quote me if I'm wrong. Was Kelleher the starting keeper? I think he was in the Carabao Cup final. So I think Klopp will stick to his word. He's a man of principle. So I know I gave Kelleher a poor ranking there, but that goal we considered wasn't down to him. It was just more of a constructive criticism. I think he should have read the play a bit better there. But I'm okay with having Kelleher in the back line. I don't really think he's a weak link in that regards. So yeah, we'll see. I think second leg definitely. I think it should be Kelleher. The final's up for grabs, but I think he will probably go with Kelleher. You know, I don't want to sound too disrespectful, but when we make the final, it will probably be Kelleher up there as well. Just got a few more comments there. I've got Camino. He says hi, Camino. I think you're tuning to the first time, so thank you for your comment. Thank you for tuning in. That says hi as well. So we've got a very nice community here. Always nice to each other. So bless up Camino. And then Camino says this FA Cup, League Cup, and in Premier League. Yeah, we're in all of these competitions. So we mentioned briefly about the quad. I'm not getting far ahead of myself in terms of saying we're going to win it. But, you know, if you're in all competitions, you're allowed to talk about the quad, aren't you? So, you know, we're in it. We're hopeful. We're praying. You know, we're dreaming about it. I've even heard some people say that, oh, it's not an official quad because you're not in the Champions League. Listen, a quad is a quad. I don't really care what people have to say. If we win all 4 trophies, we've won 4 trophies. Doesn't have to be the official quad, which is ridiculous. So the next team that wins the quad, then they can say to us that, oh, we didn't win the real one. They won the real one because it hasn't been done before. So take it as what you want. But we're in it. So hopefully we can excel. So I've said past a lot of people's expectations this season. So exciting times for me as a Liverpool fan right now. And that's just 2 weeks tonight, next leg. So yeah, 2 weeks on the dot, 24th of Jan. So yeah, it'll be at Craven Cottage. So yeah, confident about that fixture based on the performance today. As Dash touched on upon earlier on in the show, asking me about some of the players. So I don't think Trent will be available for that one. But for me, because of Conor Bradley's performance today, I feel a bit more confident going into that fixture. And then Szoboszlai might be close to fitness towards that fixture. But Jones was phenomenal today. McAllister's doing a good job. And look, fingers crossed. I'm hoping we hear some news about Thiago because I know he started a bit of light training. So hopefully the end of the season is a target for him to come back into the fold. Bajtic, I have no idea. I'm hoping. I'm more or less praying for Bajtic because I don't even know when he's set to return. But we've got players that can do the job as well. We've got the likes of Jones, which will be a number 8. You've got Elliott. Gravenberch, for me, probably didn't have the best of games, but he can still do a job for us. So you've got options there. Bobby Clark as well, another young player that can definitely put in a shift if required. So for me, numbers are there. We've got players that can do a job for the team. At that stage, I think this is what counts for us. So yeah, that's a wrap up for today, guys. So thank you for everyone for tuning in. Thank you to Daz, Keep It Level, Amirali. You've got Jay Kisnet, and then you've got Camino as well. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your participation in the live chat. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Next show I'll be doing tomorrow, I'll be doing one of my FC24 shows where I continue my Liverpool career mode. I think it's episode 9 that I'm doing. So yeah, got a few more left on the tank. So yeah, I'll be doing that around 10 o'clock UK time. So make sure to tune in. And then next week, We've got no football in terms of Premier League, but we'll be doing some content. So just be on the lookout on my social or hit that notification bell on YouTube. You'll be notified of any shows that are coming up. In terms of my socials, you can follow me at OzzieFTP on Twitter/X, or you can follow me at Ozzie.ftp on Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. So as always, guys, take care, stay safe, and I hope to see you all very, very soon. Goodbye.